Mercedes-Benz S-Class is one of the great success stories of the car industry. A whopping 325,000 of them have rolled off the production line since '98, and nearly 11,000 have been sold here in the UK. This remarkable luxury car has achieved a staggering 46% share of the European prestige market, and it's a success that's been repeated around the world. 40% of the US market and an amazing 58% in Japan. Robust evidence that supports the claim I've made on numerous occasions, that the Mercedes-Benz S-Class is indeed the best car in the world. But of course, BMW, Lexus and Jaguar haven't taken this lying down, and they've been fighting back with new designs and new technology to try to topple the king from his throne. So with the brand new S-Class not due for a while, Mercedes-Benz are staying one step ahead and protecting their coveted position with this comprehensively revised model. And here we are. The facelifted S-Class is brimming with a raft of new features and details. But before we take a closer look, let's hear from two people who understand how significant the S-Class has been to Mercedes-Benz and also what it means for the future of the brand.
The S-Class is the pinnacle of automotive design. It's the car that sets the standard for the whole of our range.
The value of S-Class to the Mercedes business as a whole is one of being a flagship model, the halo effect across the range. You can't underestimate the importance of S-Class.
As far as tourist sales go, in the last 4 years, we've sold to customers from nearly 100 different countries.
The core customers for S-Class are chief executives in companies, heads of large organisations, often people who are perhaps driven around rather than driving the vehicles themselves.
As far as diplomats are concerned, many embassies in London choose the S-Class as they wish to be associated with this flagship car.
The financial arguments to purchase one of these vehicles are incredibly strong.
In terms of design and style, the S-Class is a market leader. This reflects in the residual value and therefore the cost of ownership of an S-Class.
The car's won several awards, best car in the world on more than one occasion, and clearly this contributes to the continued success of the car.
BMW have introduced a new 7 Series. We, however, still see the Mercedes-Benz as being the class leader.
We have the advantage of a much broader range of engines and options. Clearly the new BMW 7 Series represents state-of-the-art technology, but perhaps in a package that isn't as yet understood by customers in this marketplace. And of course there is a new Jaguar XJ, but one thing that the S-Class still offers is the levels of comfort and performance, and also of course interior space, which the other cars still struggle to match.
We are very confident that the revised S-Class will build upon the success of its predecessor.
And of course this car really does look great.
So, in the world of luxury cars, it would appear that the S-Class is still King Kong. But what about those people who shell out ready money, in many cases from the bountiful corporate checkbook, and buy the best car in the world? Let's hear what they've got to say.
We currently have 12 S-Class Mercedes on our fleet. It's important as the leader in the chauffeured services marketplace here in the UK that we provide a vehicle that our customers demand.
We chose the S-Class for a number of reasons, including the performance and reliability and styling and comfort of the cars.
S-Class has always performed very well for Carey. It's a vehicle that provides a high level of style, comfort.
Other than routine servicing, we have very few problems with them.
It's hard to see how the S-Class can be improved, although I know with the new S-Class improvements have been made which will make the vehicle even more stylish, even more comfortable, and provide even more status for our customer.
It would be very difficult to improve the S-Class either in styling, comfort or performance.
The customer loves S-Class. The space, the comfort of the vehicle, it's well appointed.
The S-Class still stands out shoulders above competition.
Our drivers enjoy driving the S-Class. It's a car that's easy to drive, smooth riding, and it's a pleasure pleasurable experience for them to be driving the car.
Its style, its ride qualities and comfort in the back is very impressive. It enables our clients, when they're picked up from the airport after a long flight, to do some work or catch up on their reading.
We will certainly buy S-Class again. It's important that our customers receive from Carey the highest level of service, and this vehicle, the S-Class Mercedes, provides that.
We certainly would buy an S-Class again. In fact, we have 2 S-Classes on order, and we're very, very pleased with them.
So just how have Stuttgart's boffins improved the look of the S-Class? Well, first and most obviously, the front end has been discreetly redesigned to give an even more dynamic demeanour. And anybody seeing this in their rearview mirror will be under no illusions. This is a luxury car with presence, attitude and grunt. A new lower air intake reinforces the performance message. The grille's been tweaked too. It's higher with a steeper rake, plus we've got new headlamps as well. And at the back we've got new and very distinctive rear lights. Inside there are no less than 40 cabin changes, making the S-Class's interior a really rather agreeable place to while away the time. Like these discreet chrome strips which border the fine wood trim, or the improved seat upholstery and the new look elegant switches. And if you need any further proof of the meticulous detail that's gone into refining the interior, just look at this deliciously crafted ashtray, complete with its delicate chrome surround. The seats have been totally remodelled with new softer hides and higher sides to the base cushion, giving even better comfort and support. Command is now standard across the range and has also been improved with a larger and clearer 6.5-inch widescreen colour display, and the cassette deck has now been replaced with a CD player. When it comes to options, there's an enhanced package of materials and finishes under the intriguing title of Designo Couture. Owners can now create the most cosseting environment imaginable, from a luxurious range of top quality Napa and Nubuck leather, finest poplar or maple wood trim, as well as sumptuous Alcantara roof linings. And the new optional dynamic multi-contour seat is the best in the world. It has a series of integrated air chambers which inflate or deflate according to the attitude of the car. The seat pneumatics are electronically controlled by a computer which takes just a split second to process data like steering angle, lateral acceleration and road speed, and then precisely controls the amount of air in the side bolster cushions. When the car enters a left-hand bend, the system pumps more air into the chambers on the right-hand side of the backrest to give greater lateral support. But the most significant and exciting changes are to be found here, under the bonnet. Now this new V12 is one of the most powerful engines Mercedes-Benz has ever produced. Twin turbos, water intercooler, light alloy construction, and the sort of torque figures that would shame a destroyer. And the 6-pot engines have also been tweaked for more power and torque. Gone is the old 320 petrol unit, replaced by a new 3.7 in the S350, kicking out 245 horses, which equates to a power hike of 12.5%. Even the S320 CDI oil burner has been modified to give greater urge, flexibility and economy. Power is up to 204 brake, and the peak torque of 500 Newton meters at 1800 RPM is a new record. And all this with a 4% reduction in fuel consumption. The fearsomely fast S55 AMG gets the same awesomely powerful supercharged 8-cylinder engine as the SL55. And just in case you missed some of those numbers, here is a complete list of those engines and their vital statistics. The S-Class engine lineup is the most extensive in this sector of the market, boasting 2 6-cylinder models, 3 V8s, and this glorious 12-cylinder, which I'm going to drive right now. Performance-wise, we're talking 4.8 seconds from this bi-turbo V12, which pushes out 500 brake horsepower. It's an enormously quick car. And here's a little bit of a secret. This engine is actually a detuned version of the Maybach power plant. So it's 50 bhp less, but it's still got enormous urge. You can't feel this, but I can. Wow. And yes, it is more refined. It's quieter, smoother, and it absorbs every pimple and declivity in the contours. But, and this is the difficult thing, they haven't over-refined it. You can sanitize cars and take away every sensation of movement, every creak, every groan, and that insulates the driver. It detaches them from reality. Just ask any Lexus engineer and they'll tell you, when they first brought out the LS400, within 2 years, they were having to put the noises, the groans, the creaks back in because their customers were falling asleep. And there's no such chance of doing that in an S600, unless of course you're a tired tycoon and you're reclining in the back. This car, whoa, is fun. Wheel spin at 60. Go baby, go. Now I know they used to call the old S320 the chauffeur's favourite, but this new S350 is better. It's going to automatically inherit that title. They will love it. Why? Because this new 3.7 V6 is quicker, more refined, smoother, and even more involving. It shaves almost a second off the 0 to 60 time, so there's magic 60 comes up on the dial in 7.2 seconds. Maximum speed is 153, yet there is absolutely no penalty in petrol consumption. But what I will say about this car is that it's that very, very rare thing, a complete car. It's luxurious, it's quiet, it's cosseting, but it's also extremely sporting and aggressive in character. You can hurl it around and you can just have fun with it. It is a great all-rounder, and in this segment, luxury cars, take it from me, it's a very, very rare animal. But not only is it the best car in the world, it's also the safest. Pre-Safe is a brand new occupant safety system that has foresight. In other words, it actually predicts what's likely to happen in the event of an accident. Now, Mercedes have carried out research that has told them that in over 2/3 of all accidents, there's a delay between the ESP and the brake assist coming on and actually having an accident. And that delay can sometimes be as long as 4 whole seconds, or the time it takes to say, oh my God. Simply put, Pre-Safe uses those critical seconds to make sure both the passenger and driver are in the safest positions within the cabin before an accident. It tensions the seat belts. If the passenger has their seat back reclined, it automatically brings that up to the correct position. And it's even cleverer than that. If it senses the car might be tipping over, it will even close the sunroof. And it's all reversible in the sense that if you do avoid an accident, then the seat belts release and you can readjust the sunroof and seat back to their original positions, and then Pre-Safe is ready to do it all over again. But let's not just talk about it, let's test it. This is Ian Halton, who is a Mercedes test driver, and Ian is going to put this S600 with Pre-Safe into an Extremis, and we're going to see how all this miraculous gadgetry works. Ian, bring it on.
Okay, what we'll do first is put the car into oversteer.
And already the seat belts are grabbing us, and look, the sunroof is closing automatically. So we are now in the safest position within the cabin if we hit a solid object, so we get the maximum benefit from the airbags. Okay, we're going to test emergency braking now. Ian is giving it some beans, hit the anchors, and seat back is up, seat belts tensioned, they're releasing now, there we go. And in this instance, the sunroof wouldn't have closed because the car would know that we're not in danger of turning over. So again, another fine performance, system works perfectly. This is the first manifestation of what is essentially a leading-edge safety concept. And here's the thing, something to tell your customers. Mercedes-Benz have the patent on pre-safe until 2003, so no manufacturer will be able to implement it until then. So what are the competition? Well, they're not quite ready to surrender yet, as you can see from the incredible bustle going on in the luxury end of the market. The Volkswagen Phaeton may be utterly pointless, but it is really rather good. There's a new Audi A8 and an all-alloy Jaguar on the way as well, plus new flagships from Rolls-Royce and Bentley. Now, all these car makers would cut off bits of their anatomy to lay claim to the coveted title of best car in the world, but they can't, because their products are quite simply mediocre in comparison. But the strongest competition comes from the hideous BMW 7 Series and the sleep-inducing Lexus LS430, both of which I'm going to drive right now to show you how really flawed they are. So first, the Lexus 430. Now, I'm duty-bound to admit that I'm a long-term Lexus owner. I'm on my third LS400, and they're great. They're cathedral quiet, utterly cosseting, and if you want to drive down to London and have a kip at the same time, that's fine. But if you expect anything more, you're not going to get it. And this is the ultimate criticism of the 430. It is bland to look at. It's an amalgam of loads and loads of other people's styling themes. The interior, it looks like someone spent £1 million at Woolworths. It's got everything, absolutely everything, but it is just, there's no tactile joy or bounty here.
Guidance is given.
Oh, shut up, woman! But for me, the worst criticism of this car is that it just does not communicate with you. There is no dialogue going through the seat and the pedals and the steering wheel. It's all so neutered and so sort of emasculated. I mean, I'm flooring it now and we're not really having a very nice time. The turning isn't crisp. Plus, of course, they don't do a long wheelbase version, so it's a little bit cramped in the back. If you're thinking about this peerless Lexus build quality, I'm quite horrified at this little cubby thing. It's unforgivable. And you keep wondering that Lexus came out in 1990 and they could have done fantastic things with this brand, and I think this is a step backwards. I actually think the LS400 is a better car than the 430, so this is not the sort of competition you need to lose any sleep over. And so to the controversial BMW 7 Series. Where do I start? I think we can all safely say that the exterior bears more than the passing resemblance to a bison's buttocks. It is not a pretty car. It has no elegance, refinement, or gravitas to the exterior. It has a certain wheel arch filling presence and will be extremely popular among the gangsters of Eastern Europe, but I'm not sure it's going to creep into the hearts of people who look for a certain elegance in their luxury cars. This just does not have it. It drives well, you cannot fault it on that. Very good responses from the steering, excellent power from the engine, the gearbox is very, very sweet, and it handles beautifully. But that all pales into insignificance when you are confronted with an interior that would make Stephen Hawking scratch his head. I mean, look at it. BMW have tried to sort of reinvent the way we control the car. So all these switches are much more complicated than they should be. Sometimes there's 1, 2, 3, 4 operations before anything happens. The passenger, there's nothing for them to do over here. They feel marginalized. The dash comes out here. But this iDrive is just bonkers, absolutely. To try to get it to do anything while you're driving, you do risk life and limb. It's so hard to understand and requires so much time. Your eyes off the road. It is that complicated and, mark my words, that dangerous. The simplest things My car is misting up because I don't know how to operate the blower. This stupid iDrive thing. Oh, I think it's broken. Very good. And ironically, this is a car that's designed for the joystick generation, the sort of 20, 30 somethings. And that is completely inappropriate because we know the luxury car segment average age is what, 45, 46, very traditional, very conservative. So I think BMW have missed the mark with this car. The pricing means that the younger generation have no access to this, and older drivers just will go, oh no, it's too complicated, and buy their Jaguars, Lexus, and of course Mercedes S-Class. So I think it's a big mistake for BMW. The problem that BMW, Lexus and the others have to face up to is that the best car in the world just got a whole lot better. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, he would say that, wouldn't he? But just remember where we started this program and the positive comments from both the people who buy these cars as company steeds and those who drive them all day long. The bottom line is, the facelifted Mercedes S-Class is an even better car than the one it replaces. And quite frankly, each of its serious competitors, wonderful as they are in lots of ways, are fundamentally and seriously flawed. And in the case of the BMW, just downright bonkers. Since the S-Class's launch, it has dominated the luxury car market, and in my opinion, for what it's worth, that dominance is set to continue for a long time yet. And on that point, I can assure you, I am not alone.
Oh, it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Great, lovely drive.
It's noticeably quieter than the previous model.
Comfortable for being a driver, great for being a passenger, plenty of room.
It seems beautifully laid out.
If you're in this car, you feel good.
If you want speed, it's there. If you want comfort, it's there.
It is a feel-good factor car, it really is.
It just seems the perfect car.
It's got everything. The subtle changes you'll see in the lights of the new style Mercedes is that they're clear. The wing mirrors have changed. They changed the backlights. If we go inside the car, you'll see again the difference. If you look at the screen, it's slightly bigger. Well, it is just a brilliant car. It is a Mercedes.